beta-methadone. Good morning, hoes and bros, and this is probably going to turn into a daily vlog, although this is going to be a little bit short because I'm just really, I got a lot of good footage yesterday. I really want to put that into a good montage. I have a great idea for it, so let's hope that works out. Anyway, I want to thank everyone for subscribing, my new subscribers. That's awesome. And also, liking the videos, any comments, and then people reached out on Facebook and Instagram. I know there's a few people that closely follow me, and I really, really appreciate them. They're people from Connecticut that I went to high school with mostly, but there is a bigger crowd out there, and I mean there's more people that need to be listening to me for other reasons. But point being, I talked to a friend in Connecticut who is also a recovering addict and didn't really know my story, watched me on Facebook and Instagram through my pregnancy, and then kind of just didn't know what happened. Really, nobody really knew what happened unless they heard it word of mouth. So she reached out and we got to talking, and I know she's really into recovery and she works in recovery homes and things of that nature. And we got to talking about, how this is huge. This is a big thing. Women in recovery, women that are addicted, women that get postpartum depression that leads to self-medicating, that leads to addiction. It's huge. It's so much bigger than I even realize. And doing the research for it, I see that. So I need to do a lot of research, and any help from anyone would be wonderful. I definitely need to have people know that postpartum depression is real. It can change your life forever, as it did for me and many, many others. I am so grateful and blessed to have been in the situation that I was, and to have Anderson Pregnancy Care behind me 100%, and to have people to go to and to reach out to. That's a big deal. So I guess my point is, I want my voice to be heard by other women that don't think they have options other than abortion or anything like that. There are so many options. You could reach out to one place that is an advocate for pregnancy and pregnancy care, and that will help you go through all the steps of applying for Medicaid and WIC and all that if you need help, getting an apartment, getting off drugs, whatever the case may be. There are tons of nonprofit places that do this. If you need a place, if you feel like you're mentally about to go crazy because either you're pregnant, you're about to have a baby, you don't know what to do, you know somebody that has postpartum depression that isn't talking about it, that isn't seeking help, that isn't getting the mental care that they need before and after birth, leave me a comment or shoot me an email. I mean, you can find out my information anywhere. It's eTiffanyLou at everything. So it's at eTiffanyLou on Snapchat. It's at eTiffanyLou1981 on Instagram, or at eTiffanyLou, or eTiffanyLou@gmail.com. Okay, so I pretty much just gave you my whole, you could steal my identity now. Get in touch with me, and I'd love to learn and research and help. Now, I'm in Anderson, South Carolina. I've said it a million times. I want to get more involved. I have to. Like I said, this vlog is like a lifeline for me. And I feel like if I maybe could do this on a daily basis for other people to listen and to like be a part of, and to understand the guilt and the fear and the shame and the heartache that goes into your choices when you have postpartum depression. And I'm not even talking about depression. There's such a thing as postpartum psychosis, which I'm sure plenty of people heard about the lady that drowned her 5 kids in a bathtub in Texas. This was years ago. Susan Smith was the one that drowned her kids in the car. I don't know. I can't remember her name. Anyway, it was a very big story, probably back in the 90s, early 2000s. I don't know. Either way, she drowned her 5 kids, and it was because of postpartum depression. They've like come to figure that out. She's in jail for the rest of her life, with no death penalty, and she'll never get out. But that's how fucking serious it gets. Like, that's how real it gets. Like, I never wanted to harm my daughter. Ever wanted to harm her. But did I want to walk out the door and run down the street screaming and crying and not come back for a day? Yeah. A lot, actually. So, and that was just a couple weeks. So I cannot imagine the women that are going through this, that go through it for years, that live in silence and terror and self-medicating. It's something like that I've come to discover is so real to so many people, but it is not talked about. Like, I knew of postpartum depression. You know what I knew about it? That if you get it, you're going to drown your 5 kids in a bathtub. That's what I thought. Like, I didn't think it could be minor. I didn't think it could be that major, really. I thought it was just like something you go through for a couple weeks because you're like in pain and blah, 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 and you get over it. Well, when I was going through it, I was still on pain medication from having my C-section. And Lord knows I love pain medication. So guess what? Relapse. I didn't even realize till this morning when I was messaging my friend in Connecticut that I actually relapsed in the hospital when I gave birth to my daughter. In the sense of, I did have an epidural. I did take every ounce of pain medication they gave me. I mistook the pain medication they gave me to go home with. And I sought more medication through doctors after my birth, or after giving birth. And then I went from there to buying it on the streets, and then next thing you know, I'm doing heroin. Like, what the fuck? A lot happened in between then. There was drinking and, you know, other things that I've discussed in depth kind of in my blog, but not so much on YouTube. But I'm trying to be as raw as possible, so it's a serious thing. The other thing I was talking to my friend about is overdoses. This year when I relapsed, I never heard about so many overdoses, been involved with friends who had overdosed, been to the hospital so many times because somebody overdosed, than in that couple months that I relapsed. Like, never in all my years of back and forth addiction, never had that happened so much. So South Carolina's laws are a little bit different. I remember up north, you got clean needles every day if you just stopped at the soup kitchen and gave your old needles from the day before. I mean, there was a needle exchange. That's what it was called. You give your old needles so that they get disposed of properly, and then you get new, fresh needles. People are gonna use. They're gonna share needles. They're gonna do it. If you don't give them a fresh one, they're gonna share it. They're gonna find a way to get high. and it's going to be with a needle. So I don't understand why in South Carolina it's so hard to get them. They're not even a prescription. Technically, you could go into Walmart and ask to purchase needles from the pharmacy. But there's nobody out there advocating for these people using these drugs to keep them safe. I mean, these people could be on a heroin binge for a couple weeks and end up with AIDS and Hep C and everything else from sharing a needle one time because they couldn't find one clean anywhere. I don't like that. I don't like it. And I was also told at the methadone clinic that I can get Narcan to keep on me, or to give to an addict, that people can use, like the nasal spray, that you can purchase that at pharmacies here in South Carolina. I've asked 3 pharmacies, none of them will sell it to me. They tell me I need a prescription. Why the fuck would I need a prescription for something that's gonna save my life? Like, it's like an EpiPen. I don't get it. I know I'm gonna hear a lot about why don't diabetics get their needles for free. I don't know, but I'll tell you one thing diabetics generally don't do is intravenously give themselves medicine, like through blood. They also don't use drugs. I mean, generally speaking. And if they are, they have clean needles. But the point is, I don't think it's fair that people with, diabetes don't get free needles. I don't think that's fair. They didn't choose to have diabetes. But I don't get free methadone, and that's what's keeping me clean, and fight me. I'll tell you what, addiction is a goddamn disease. Sorry, Father, for I have sinned, but it is a God bless American disease. God bless American is right, because it is destroying this fucking country. Little by little. I meet more and more people every day that are addicted to drugs that don't know that they are, or know someone that has been, or are in recovery, or are currently using, and know that they need to get help, but they don't want to get help. Some that are in a situation that they can get all the help they need right now, but they just want to get high. And it drives me fucking nuts. I don't know, I'm kind of going off. It's 13 minutes. I want to upload this video. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to save this anger. But these are the things I want to get out there. My channel isn't going to turn into me ranting in my car every day. I really do have a good video from yesterday that I'm going to spend time editing today. So give me a break, people. But stay informed and don't hate on addicts because they want needles so that they don't get AIDS. I mean, if you've never been there, you really don't know what it's like. Unless you've been in someone's shoes, you really don't know what it's like. You can only imagine what it would be like. But you have no idea until you're there. Anyway, with that being said, I'm going to say peace and love, and please subscribe, comment, send me any information, questions, comments. I want to help you research. I want to learn more. I want to help more, and this is going to be how it starts.